for Life, and this is my Thursday 2 p.m. session, which I'm recording particularly for the benefit of Louise, who is stuck at home, but for anyone else who's watching, I hope you enjoy it. If you have a ball or a tennis ball, just spend a couple of minutes rolling out the bottom of your feet. Try and press nice and firmly into the ball, roll it from the front to the back of the underside of your foot. After you've done a few passes of that, you're going to put the ball underneath your arch, press down and hold. So when you look down, you want to see a little portion of the ball on the inside of your foot. So press and hold for a few more seconds, and then we'll do the other foot. Rolling from front to back. Keeping a nice firm pressure. And after you've done a few of those, putting the ball underneath the arch of the foot and then pressing down and holding for a few seconds. Now I've tried to structure a workout that doesn't require too many props. So hopefully you've got yourself a mat, maybe a towel for your head, and hopefully we don't need anything else. So we'll get started. Alright, so we'll start by warming up the head, neck, and the shoulders. So we want feet hip width apart and parallel. And you're just going to start by doing some nice circles. Reversing each time you complete a circle. And we'll do a couple more of these. Last one. And then we're going to move down to the shoulders. Let's squeeze the shoulder blades together and release. Squeeze and release. So this is just a retraction of your shoulder blades. Squeeze, release. All right, circling the arms now. So looking for your full range of movement here. Big inhale as the arms come up, and an exhale as they come down, and then we reverse. And we'll do one more. All right, we're going to bring the hands to the back of the head. And before we do a full roll down, we're going to spend a little time working on the particulars of the roll down through the spine. So a little focusing. So you're pulling the back of the head into your hands here, and then you're going to nod the chin and roll down. Once you feel you've drawn the low back in, you restack. So a really good way to feel this is actually against the wall. So you can lean up against a wall, tailbone on the wall, back of the rib cage on the wall. Nod the chin, round the upper spine, draw the low back towards the wall, so now you're in your full C curve, and then restack. So use the wall as your tool. Make sure you're keeping the connection between the head and your hands, so it's an active connection. And on the next one, we're going to go all the way down. So now I feel my tailbone coming up the wall. I'm going to let my arms drop. And then exhale up. Tucking the tailbone under and restacking the spine. I'll bring the hands back to my head. Pull the head back into the hands. Tuck the chin, slowly rounding down through the spine. Keeping my rounded spine as I come down, and I let the arms go. Tailbone stays on the wall the entire time. Restack the spine. This time let's do it without, but we want that same sensation through the spine. And we'll do one more of these. And all the way up. And then restack the spine. Excellent. So you can do 5 or 6 of those. Now we've got the spine warmed up in mobilization. Let's see what we're going to do next. We'll do some side reach. So we're going to take the feet wider than hip width apart. For today's side reach, we're going to bring the hands to the back of the head, lengthen up, and then reach over. Back to center. Lengthen through the spine as you reach. And then back. So you don't want to be twisting at all. It's quite good to do this facing a mirror if that's possible. And then you can make sure that you're staying in the correct plane of movement. One more over to the right. Back to center, bring the arms down. We're going to add a little challenge now. This time when we lengthen over, we inhale, tummy in, reach the arms. Bring them back to the head, lengthen over to the right. Inhale, reach. One more to each side. Inhale, reach. And bring the arms down. Excellent. All right, let's have our feet hip width apart and parallel. Let's do a little chest expansion. You can do it with or without a band. Roll your shoulders back and down. We're going to create tension in the arms as we press back. And release. Press back and hold. And release. Let's do two more. And last one. And release. Okay, let's do a little balance work. So we're going to take the weight onto the right foot, make sure there's nothing behind you. I'm going to lengthen my left leg and square my hips up so they're not twisted. Tummy is engaged. I'm going to reach my arms forward and then tipping, feeling the crease in my right hip, the front of my right hip. So we're going to stay on this right leg, and you can have a little knee bend here. Now, if this arm position isn't comfortable, just find one that works for you. This one doesn't work that well for me. I'm going to go back to the one I was doing. I'm really focusing on my hips here, trying to keep them from twisting. Oh, that's hard work. One more on this leg. Really reaching through the left leg, keeping it long and straight. Changing legs, weight onto the left foot. Lengthen the right leg, keep the tummy in, so we want this straight line from the right toes to the crown of the head. Arms set, tummy in. You can take a little bend in the left knee. And we're focusing on movement right here in the hip joint and keeping the hips square. This will work your hamstring. So we're going to go for 3 more on this leg. Oh, one more. Oh my gosh, these are really no fun. Oh, and back. Bring that leg down. Okay, so come to the back of your mat. We're going to come down and do some rotation now. And I'm pulling that back to make sure you're able to see me. So standing with feet hip width apart and parallel. Nod the chin, let the shoulders roll forward, roll down to the mat. Walk your hands out, bring them underneath your shoulders. You're in plank position. Bring the right knee down, bring the left knee down. So we're going to do some threading the needle, keeping our tabletop spine. Turn one hand over, look in that direction, bend the standing elbow, and rotate. So you can also do this with a ball, which I'll demonstrate in a minute. So keep going with those, and I'll grab a ball in case there's anyone at home who has one and would like to see what it's like done with a ball. the needle arm, so the arm that's rolling the ball, you're feeling that shoulder come closer to the mat. Pay attention to your knees and your feet. If they're shifting around, it probably means your hips are moving, which is not a good thing. Last two. Oh, that side is tight. And up. If you want, you can tuck the tail and take rest position. Bring yourself up. All right, coming down onto the mat now. We're going to do some spine curls. Okay, so I've got a pillow for the back of my head. It would be great if you could do the same if you have a pillow. So normally when we're in class, we do our spine curls with a ball or a band or something. Today we're going to work without. So we're going to work on keeping our knees, hips, feet in alignment, arms down on the mat. Press your arms down into the mat like you were doing chest expansion. Tuck your tail, peel the spine off the mat to come up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, soften. Work your way down to the mat. So work on your sequential movement. You can go as slowly as you want, feeling each vertebrae articulate. Make sure when you come into your top position here, your bridge position, that you're not pushing your chest up, but you're keeping this nice neutral spine. Okay, little challenge this time. We're going to bring the arms up over the chest. Tuck the tail. Peel the spine off the mat. I'm going to leave the arms up as we come down. Still working on our sequential articulation and keeping our hips, knees, and feet in alignment. I'm just checking myself in the mirror to make sure that I'm not extending or overarching my low back. One more here. And down. All right, bring the arms down, bring the legs into a double knee fold. We're going to glue the knees and feet together. Curl up off the mat, lift your arms for the 100. You can have your legs here or you can lengthen. And we're going to inhale, pump 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep pumping from your shoulders. Last one. Knees into the chest, head to the mat. Oh, that feels nice to come down. Excellent. Now I have to check what's up next. All right, we're going to do some seat work. Actually, we'll do the roll up. So let's have the feet flat, the knees bent, and we'll reach the arms back. Circle them, nod the chin, and lengthen the legs as you roll up. So I'm going to come to the end of my mat here, move my water out of the way so I don't hit it. All right, so reaching the arms out in front of the chest, If you can't come all the way up from the mat, then don't go all the way down. And remember, if you have problems transitioning from mid-back to low back, put a little pillow or a little folded towel underneath your low spine. And as you're rolling down, you're pulling the vertebrae down onto that pillow, and the same on the way up. Lifting up tall at the top. Reach the legs long. Last two. And last one. Excellent. All right, we're going to do a spine stretch forward now. So I'll turn and face you for this one. So we've got the legs in a kind of open V shape. Heels are reaching away from us. Arms are in front of the chest. We're going to round the spine. My shoulders are over my hips. And then I keep my rounded spine as I stretch forwards, closing the space at the front of my hips. Keep the rounded spine as you come back, and then lengthen up tall. So when you lengthen up tall, it's shoulders down, little squeeze of the shoulder blades so that you lose your rounded upper spine. Now stretch the arms forward to let those shoulder blades come out of the way, rounding the spine, reach forwards, return, lift up tall. This time we're switching it up. To come out of the position, we're lifting the head, lowering the shoulders, sending the chest forwards, coming out through extension. So into flexion, close the hips, into extension, to come out. Two more. Flexion, reach forwards, lift the head, chin, chest, shoulders down. Last one. And out. Nice job. All right, close the legs and let's come back to the mat. All right, for some seat work now. All right, so rolling nicely back down to the mat. Feet are hip width apart and parallel, arms down on the mat. Little tuck of the pelvis. Lift your seat 2 or 3 inches off the mat, just enough that you can slide a hand under your seat. Keep your pelvic tuck. Stand on your left foot and knee fold the right leg. We're going to march on the spot. So you can make this more challenging by placing your hands on your hip bones or reaching your arms up to the ceiling. So watch the hips. So you can keep doing this, or if you want to go for the extra challenge, you're going to reach your right leg up, and we're going to flex the foot down, point and lift. We're going to do 5 of these on each leg. Flex down, point and lift. Flex down, keep your pelvic tuck. Last one. Bring the right leg down, reset the hips, stretch the left leg up, flex down. Ooh, I know this side's going to be harder, and lift. Flex down, point and lift. Last 2. Last one. And bring that leg down, bring the spine to the mat, draw the knees to the chest. Whew. Excellent. All right, so let's do a hip roll now. We'll have knees glued together, arms spread wide, palms face the ceiling. Send the hips over to one side. Make sure you keep the knees and the feet together. Keep the tips of your shoulder blades on the mat as you rotate back. And over to the other side. You can add a little head turn if you'd like, turning the head in the opposite direction. When you come back to center, make sure your low spine in particular is still in neutral. There is a tendency to extend in the low back to try and make those hips go further. So we don't want to compensate. All right, come back to center. We're going to bring the legs to a tabletop and then lengthen them up to the ceiling. We're going to do single straight leg now. Hands to the right leg. We're going to climb up the right leg, pulling it towards me, lengthen the left leg away, and swap. So scissors. Make sure you're pulling the leg to you. Really stretching and lengthening the other leg away. In opposition. Elbows wide. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring the knees and the head down. Whew. All right. Okay, we're going to do a little corkscrew preparation. So we're going to keep the legs up, arms come to the mat, palms face down. Send the legs up and glue them together. So we're going to take the legs over to the right, and my left seat is coming off the mat. We circle down, around, and up. Let's go to the left. The right seat lifts, circle down, up to the center. So you'll feel yourself coming now onto one side of your pelvis and then up on the other side and then to the center. So we go inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale to put the brakes on. Don't want to arch your back when you're doing this. Last 2. Last 1. Knees into the chest. I'm pretty warm. All right, let's bring the feet down. So let's see, we're going to bring ourselves up to do some rolling. So I'm going to come into my rolling like a rocker position, my pelvis tucked. I'm going to do a few rocks, and then I'm going to rock up to sitting. Bring the hands to the outside of my ankles, open up my knees a little bit, look down. I'm going to tuck my pelvis to rock back, and set my sit bones up. Got my pillow there, but I think that's all right. So I'm trying to get a nice smooth roll. Keeping my chin tucked the whole time. Let's do 2 more. Oh, that was a bit wonky. And last one, let's make this the best one. Excellent. All right. So we're going to go into our rollover now. I quite like the rollover. It's a full body exercise. I can't do a textbook rollover, but I can still get the benefit from it. So we're going to come into our rollover from a rolling position. So you're going to roll back and bring your arms to the mat. Send your legs over. So here we're going to separate the legs and flex the feet. Reach through your heels, press your arms into the mat. I've lowered my legs a little bit, and I'm going to articulate my spine into the mat. Pressing down with my arms. Ooh, and then I bring my legs together. So right now my low back is pressing into the mat. Inhale, reach the legs away, make sure your back stays flat. And now exhale, curl in and lift. Stretch the arms away, flex the feet, lower the legs, and articulate down. Back is flat. Inhale, exhale. So this downward transition here, I like to think of this as a tug of war. My heels reaching away, my spine drawing to the mat. Last one. Oh, the knees in. I think my arms might be sore tomorrow. All right. Let's see how we're doing for time. Excellent. That's been quite an intense little sequence there. So let's see what's up next. Okay, so we're going to do a couple more exercises down here in relaxation position. And then we are going to change. So back into relaxation position. Legs are in a double knee fold. Let's actually spread the arms and turn the palms to face the ceiling because those arms are a little bit tired now. You want to be nice and heavy on your tailbone and respect that little gap, the neutral spine in your low back. Inhale, tap. Exhale, back. Inhale, tap, alternating legs. So your focus when you do your tap is completely stabilizing through your pelvis and tapping lightly as you move from your hip joint. All right, little challenge for anybody who wants it. You glue the legs together and you go for doubles. So if you can't make it all the way down, keeping your spine in neutral, then you just go where you can go and you come back up. Inhale down. And exhale up. 2 more. Last one. Awesome. All right, coming up. And we're going to do some side twist. So you're going to come onto your left elbow. We want that elbow underneath the shoulder, and I'm going to give you a couple of options. You can do it like this with your legs in oyster. So you'll be pressing into that bottom elbow, lifting and lengthening, the hips come off the mat, or you can do it on the elbow with your legs like this, the bottom foot hooked around the top foot. Got to straighten the legs when you come up, like this. And for anyone who wants to go all the way, you're on the hand. Spread the fingers. Lift, reach, and come down. So I'm going to go back to the elbow because this shoulder is still kind of rehabbing. So we lift the waist, lift the hips, inhale into the top ribs, and exhale down. I'm just going to do one one more, but you can do about 6 of these. So do a couple more. That's enough for my shoulder. And once you've done those, we'll set up and do the other side. All right, elbow under shoulder. Top hand is long. Lift the waist, lift the hips, float the arm over. Lift into your top ribs at the top as you inhale and float down. So I'll do one more like this and then I'll show you the options. With the progressed legs, straightening the legs as you come up. So you really have to lift up through your hips and ribs. Or on the hand for the full expression. And down. Last one. Awesome. All right, so let's bring ourselves into prone position. So lying on your front. Legs are wider than hip width apart, and we'll set up for cobra. So arms are parallel with the sides of the mat. Legs are wide with the heels turned in. Forehead down, belly button in. Pubic bone pressing into the mat. Exhale, roll your marble. Remember, it's not a lot of movement with the head. Send the chest forwards and up. And you're just up on your forearms. So try not to push with the forearms for this. Let the back do its work. Keep pressing your pubic bone down. That's to protect your low back. And now coming up into full cobra. Press into the hands, keep your shoulders away from your ears as you straighten the arms. Bring the elbows down as you lay the spine down nice and long. So your cobra is probably going to look different to mine. I don't have a lot of mobility in my low back, so I let my hips come off the mat. But that does give me a nice opening in the front of the body and in my hips. Last one. Excellent. All right. Let's narrow the legs a little bit. And I want you to bring your arms into your diamond press position. So fingertips under the forehead. Leave a space for your forehead to rest down. Tummy is pulling in. And we're going to roll our imaginary marble away and lift the chest. So we're resting kind of on our rib cage here. So we're in an extension of the upper spine. In this position, we're going to do our star leg. So we're going to lengthen the right leg, squeezing the seat to lift, and then lower. And remember the golden rule here, the hip does not lift off the mat. The hip bone stays exactly where it is. You've got to make a direct line connection between your brain and your seat. Squeeze. Keep pulling your belly button up, because we do not want this exercise to travel into the low back. We want to stop that kinetic chain of movement at the hips, at the seat. It's just a leg movement. If this is too much for your low back, you just bring your head to the mat. All right, anybody who wants to get some extra credit here, you can try some doubles, which for some reason seems doubly as hard. or triply is hard. Last 3. Last 1. And relax down. Take rest position. So round your spine. Knees are wide. Sit back on your heels. And you're lifting your tummy away from your legs. Take nice big wide breaths. Expand into the back and sides of your rib cage. And then slowly bring yourself out of that position. Rebuild the spine. All right, page 2. Okay, so let's come back to our prone position and come back to diamond press. We're going to do some diamond press with salutes now. So legs are about hip width apart with the heels turned in, belly button engaged, pubic bone pressing down. So we're going to start just with our upper spine extension, holding as we inhale to salute. We're going to do alternate arms. Now if you want to go for more challenge, you've got lots of options. You can do a double arm lift here. You can keep going with the singles if you want. If you want even more challenge, you double lift and then you stretch alternate arms on the inhale. That's probably not right for me today, so I'm going to come back to these. Remember, it's not about having to touch the forehead. It's about simply taking the weight off the arms. Keep pressing the pubic down, pulling the belly button up. Let's do 2 more. Last one of whatever version you're doing. And down. Oh my goodness. All right, again, take rest position. It must be time for some side lying. So for your side lying, hopefully you've got a pillow or a rolled up towel you can use, because we prefer to get the spine into a neutral position, and the pillows help us with that. So lying on your side, my left side is not great because of my shoulder, but I'll do my best. Okay, so we're going to come into our oyster position. Like this, and remember we want the waist lifted because we want the spine in neutral. Let's go hand on the hip. With heavy feet, we open and close the top knee. I'm just going to change my position to ease up on my shoulder. There we go, that's better. Now I can be in a better neutral position for my spine. If you have any shoulder problems, you can do it this way as well. All right, let's hover the feet up and continue. I want you to take your time with these and really concentrate on opening as much as you can, so working here. Three more. Last 2. Feet are still resting together. Last one. And down. Lovely. Stretch the legs going to do a little bit of lift and lower now. So it's a little easier if you bring your legs slightly forwards, flex the bottom foot, lift the top leg to hip height. So we're going to do some here with the leg kind of right over the bottom leg, and then we're going to do some where we take the leg back. So notice how I'm not going below hip height and I am not letting my waist collapse. Lift and lower. So we're going to go for about 8 of these. I think we have 2 left. Exhaling to lift. Take the leg back. So now it's in line with my spine. Lift and lower. Oh, these are harder. 3 more. We're just doing 6 here. 3 and 2 and 1, and bring it down. Super job. All right, let's do the other side. So we'll just go right over, roll onto your other side, lengthen your bottom arm and pop your pillows on top, and we're going to start with the oyster. So remember, you want that waist lifted, your heels are in line with the back of the body, and we'll put the hand on the top hip, and open and close. There's no witty banter here today because it's just me. 1 more here. Open and close. All right, then we're going to hover the feet up and continue to open and close. Remember, I want you to try and really press up into your full range here. Squeeze the outer hip. We're only doing 6 of these. That's 3. Squeeze. 2 more. I've got the shakes in my muscles. Squeeze. Working super hard. Last one. And down. Lower the feet, lower the knees. Stretch out now with the legs angled slightly forwards, your bottom foot flexed. Lift and lower. Top leg comes to hip height. And we go up and down. And we've still got our nice neutral spine with the waist lifted. Try not to use momentum for these. Try and really squeeze to lift up and down. Almost there. 3 more. Last one. Second position, legs reaching straight down from your spine. I'm going to use my fingertips for balance here. Lift and lower for 6. 5. Different set of muscles being used here, or slightly different. Last 3. Make these count. Last 2. And last 1. And all the way down. Super job. All right. Oh, are we done yet? 10 more minutes or so. Okay, so let's bring ourselves up into sitting. And we are going to do some tabletop. Okay, so for our tabletop, we've got hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Now we're going to do the full tabletop, but we're going to build up to it. So let's pull the shoulders away from the ears, shift the weight into the left knee, and lengthen the right leg out. You'll see my toe is on the floor. And my focus is on keeping my pelvis and spine completely still. Now, I'm lucky I've got a mirror here. I can check myself every now and then. lower and bring it in. Arms stay super straight. Okay, so let's progress this. Let's take that right leg out. We're going to take it out to the side, lift it up, circle it behind the left foot, and across. Try and keep your neutral spine and pelvis. It is super hard. This time we're going to reverse. We go behind the left foot, lift up and over to the outside, sweep it across. Lift, bring it down, sweep it across. This is your last one. And bring it in, left leg, lengthen. Take it to the outside, lift. Place it down behind the right foot and sweep it across like a windscreen wiper. Lift. Set it down behind the right foot. Take it across. Last one in this direction. And then we reverse. Behind the right foot, lift. Circle to the outside, set it down lightly, sweep it across. Arms stay super straight. Press into the right knee if you can. Last one. And then bring it in. Oh, round the spine and sit back. All right, coming out of rest position. Okay, so we're going to stretch the seat. Find yourself a wall and bring your mat to it. You're going to lie on your back. Stretch your legs up the wall. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. And then slide that left foot down the wall. So to find the stretch, it's really important that you stay on your tailbone. You're not tucking your pelvis. And then you press your right knee away. And release. Change legs. So stretch the legs up the wall. Cross the left ankle over the right knee, slide the right foot down. The right knee is now bent. Remember, you're heavy on your tailbone, you're not tucking your pelvis. And now press the left knee away. One more breath here. And release it. Excellent. Just roll onto your side. Bring yourself up to sitting. And I'm going to do seal. So I'm going to come down to the end of my mat. Hips should be nice and open now after that stretch. Hands come through the legs to the outside of the ankles, and we balance up on the sit bones. Look down, tuck the pelvis to rock back. Clap, clap, and clap, clap. The claps come from the hips. You don't have to do them, but they are fun. And clap, clap. Remember, you're looking for the nice smooth roll. And the smooth roll comes from getting your spine into your long C curve. Last one. Oh, that one was not so good. I'm going to do one more. That was better. Excellent. Now bring those feet down. Okay. So let's come into 4-point kneeling. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to tuck the toes under. Press into a downward facing dog. Pressing those heels down, lifting the sit bones up. Lift the heels and then repress down into the mat. One more lift. And press. Sit bones shining up. Soften the knees, walk your hands back to your feet. Coming out of your fold, draw up through your center. Let your heavy arms just hang as you restack the spine. Step away from your mat. Step your feet wider than hip width apart. Let's float the right arm up and lengthen over. Float the left arm up and lengthen over. Let's reach the arms in front of the chest. Bend the right elbow, turn the head and neck, lengthen that back arm and rotate the chest. So a little bow and arrow. We could use a little extra space here. So remember, you're turning your chest away from the front arm. Last one. Bring the arms down. Take the hands to the back of the head for extension of the spine to finish. Inhale, look up. Lift the chest as you lengthen down into the floor with your legs. Exhale back. Inhale, lift and lengthen. If it's more comfortable, you can do this with your arms down. Last one. And you're finished. Thank you for joining me on the mat today. If you have any questions, just email me at sidereach@gmail.com. Thanks very much.